What happens? Dude. Have you ever felt a snail in your hand? Nitrite, is it the nitrate? 5, 6. You're my favorite little tamago snail. Never seen a snail so egg-like and beautiful like you before.
Why, thank you.
The following day, I thought I lost my snail forever, and I made a decision. This snail will get an upgraded, nice, wholesome home and some shrimp friends to match. But at the time, it seems I just couldn't figure it out. Today, I'm here to talk about the drama between me and my snail Tamago. That's Tamago. Roll the footage. So back to the beginning. I got a snail. Well, actually, I got 2 snails because I think snails are pretty cool. They were named Tamago and Yato. Tamago, a mystery snail with a mouth who looks like a wise man's mustache. And Yato, a pond snail with little triangle ears. I think they're pretty cute. But we'll get back to Yato another time. The name Tamago was inspired by Chris from the channel Fish for Thought. It's what he named his parrot cichlid, but a little bit different. So Tamago is egg in Japanese.
Tamago.
Tomago is so much more fun to say in my mind. And I also like to spell it like this. That's it. So it's Tomago, not Tamago. So back to the story. Tomago, my snail, and another snail. Woot woot. Buckle you up. Because I got like a box, but then I realized it's just gonna make them roll around. Alright. I live in these city streets and I know the drive was stressful, so Tamago and no name, let's go. But at the very point I got Tamago, my plan was to make Tamago an absolute unit. Meaning healthy, strong, thriving, eating well, happy as can be, living best life. That is what I mean by absolute unit. That has been my one and only plan. That is all. But it didn't quite work out like that. So I took up the challenge of having a Nano-Aquarium. And I got, hold on, this exact 2.5 bow front style aquarium made of plastic, of course. This was my first aquarium. Are you amazed? I learned a lot because if you didn't know, small aquariums are actually harder to maintain because there's a lot of things that happen within the water, and with such a small amount of water, all this stuff happens a lot quicker and a lot more intensely. And I thought, oh yeah, it's so cute, you know? It's the aquarium I started with, it's the aquarium I'm gonna get better with. This face means it didn't quite work out like that. Oh, but there has been one consistency in the time that Tamago and I have spent together, and that's that she keeps escaping. 5 times now. The footage you saw in the beginning was the 4th time. You know, I thought I heard something. This is your 3rd time. What happens? I need to figure out why. Why are you doing this? How do I pick you up? Dude. Come here. Come do my hand. I don't know what to do. I feel you. I can feel them on my hand. I got the water ready for you, buddy. Oh, I don't know what to do. Oh, I can feel you. Just get on my hand. It's just such an awkward place. And I know you did this 2 minutes ago because I heard a random thud and then I was like, well, that's a weird direction. Have you ever felt a snail in your hand? Because I haven't. This is weird. I don't want to be aggressive. Okay. I have you. Here, I'm gonna have to pick you up by your shell. Alright. Just slip right out. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I'm assuming they make a goo when they're outside of the water to keep their liquids liquid. Oh, but usually you do this when I'm out of the house, so thanks for waiting. I don't know if they do this because they're trying to like scavenge outside the world or if it's the water parameters, which I'm gonna check. That bad boy. Alright.
How are you? Why, thank you.
I'm trying to execute this calmly because I don't think that panicking would help. And as I said, this is my 3rd rodeo. I mean, ammonia so far looks good. The nitrite, is it the nitrate? The nitrite looks fine. which means the nitrate only contender, unless like the pH somehow changed. Water, I've learned, is very complicated, as you can see by my science kit 3000 over here. I'm just like, I don't know what I don't know. 5, 6. Because so far it looks like, and I worked hard for this. I worked hard for these water parameters, okay? And you've escaped 3 times, making me stressed. You're my favorite little tamago snail. Never seen a snail so egg-like and beautiful like you before.
Why, thank you.
Such a gracious looking beard thing on your face. I like it. Alright. If this is okay, we're having a talk. Are you okay? Because I'm starting to consider that you're just very dramatic. What are you doing? I'm gonna wait a few minutes to officially make sure that all these results are, you know, cool, but I'm just gonna put... In case you get wild, let's put you next to the tank, I guess. If anyone's an expert on what to do when a snail keeps escaping on you, let me know. I've been trying to give snail good life, but snail no appreciate good life that I try to give. So I obviously must be misunderstanding the good life that they need and misinterpreting that. So let me know what I could do to make the snail happy. Thank you. From what I can tell, if you don't know water, hey, me too, to be honest, but I believe it's pretty good that the ammonia is at 0, if not just above 0. Nitrate is definitely at 0, and nitrate is at 0 as well. So I don't know what the dealio with you is, my homie Tamago. What's up with you? Look at that little face. What? I think I'm just gonna plop you. Okay, how are we gonna do this? I feel like there's so much I'm doing wrong. Just let me know. I aim to improve. And wish you well. And they're back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, just let me know what the heck is going on. And when did Mystery Snail / my Mystery Snail become an escape artist? How has your snail survived 5 times of escaping? Well, it used to be set up where there was an aquarium on the top, and then you had this table, and then underneath the table they have my cat's water fountain. That's where they ended up. The 5th time was a real tearjerker, let me tell you. I need to talk to you.
How are you?
I'm going to create a beautiful home for you and, alright? Hear me out, Tamago. I might give you a friend. What do you think? The original idea was, you know, a few little shrimp buddies, but what's to lose? I'm very happy you're okay. I'm happy you're moving. How did she survive a 29-inch fall? Not even sure. I wasn't even gonna relish on it. I also should mention, every time that she's escaped, it was when I was gone. With the exception of the one I got footage of, where I heard a clink, and then I went to go investigate with my camera, and then, alas, there she was, all her glory, out and about, because she's like, I'm a snail, I can live on land for a bit. Not too long, though. I was just happy they were alive. I would be gone for about an hour. I have no clue when they did it, but I'd be gone for about an hour, and then I would find them in my cat's water fountain.
How are you? Why, thank you.
But they just kept escaping. And for some reason, I just didn't hear that mystery snails escape sometimes, and then give you heart attacks when they dry out on the floor. Tell me why I found these clips afterward.
If that tank has no lid, then that snail is 100% going to escape. Yeah, that is true. It's gonna escape, and then it's gonna dry out, and then die. Snails, what can I say? They like to commit suicide once in a while.
Was that not a part? Can no one, when I get a snail, can no one just like let me know, hey, they might just try to like die sometimes? I literally went to the local fish store stressed, and this guy was like, borderline chuckling at how stressed I was, not about like this expensive like exotic fish that got imported from long lands. No, it's about a mystery snail, which is almost borderline considered like an invasive species because of how much snails just generally reproduce. And you're telling me y'all are just trying to like leave? To dry up? But the 5th time that Tamago decided to just casually evacuate, I was coming back from eating ramen, and I come home to, guess what? Barely a snail. Just like a dried up shell. I didn't even recognize my little Tamago. But I was very much stressed. I was very much possibly maybe crying, okay? The day before, I tested the water and everything was fine and dandy. 'Twas grand, 'twas great, and yet Tamago still leaving. Like, mystery snails are so cool. Did you know mystery snails have very keen senses of smell and will literally rush to food as soon as it's in the... I've witnessed this. As soon as it's in the tank, as soon as it drops in the water, they're like, oh, food time. Then they just slither on over. They also have an eye stalk, and apparently if the eye stalk is damaged, the snail can grow it back within weeks. Also, I recently, like very recently, just found out that it's a she. Here's a photo. So let me know if you know otherwise, but as far as I can tell, it's a she. So my theory is, I have a female mystery snail feeling a bit lonely. So I had a mission to make room for Tamago to have a buddy. So I woke up the next morning with the plan, but evidently got distracted by my cat. So I'm just gonna explain it here really quick. So 2 days prior, I saw an aquarium at Goodwill. Barely an aquarium, it's another like plastic one. It looked like this. But it also looked bigger than the one I had. And I believe it was probably somewhere around $5. So I went to go see if the Goodwill still had it. It's getting me hyped. I hope you like this angle. Me too. I'm here. Let's see if they got it. So I got this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It is not the plan for the tank. I think it's a plan somewhere, though. It's in the passenger seat. So I gotta make another plan now. Hold on. I didn't have a backup. I was just like, okay, let's fingers crossed. It's still there. It is not. You know what? It looked kind of cheap, but it was bigger. That was the big thing. It was like, you know what? And it's probably under $10. I'm gonna think for a minute. 10 minutes later. So the plan is to go to Petco and to peruse what tanks they have under $20 and to look at cute fish and invertebrates underwater. That is the plan. I don't know, but we're rooming. At Petco for a second opinion. She said they just escape sometimes. They'll have an aquarium with a rim, so it's harder to escape. She says as I hold a soon-to-be purchased aquarium with a rim. So I naturally said, will do, lady of the land of Petco. Will do. And I was off, walking out very dramatically. No, I'm kidding, but that would have been funny. Now I have the aquarium. Next step, substrate. This step I made a little bit complicated. So I was going from a 2.5 gallon to a 5.5 gallon, which means I was doubling the surface area at which I needed to fill substrate. And to achieve that, I needed to acquire 4 things. Soil, aqua soil, black sand, and play sand. Why so many? Well, aqua sand is what is already in the aquarium that Tamago was in. That stuff was expensive and I knew I was going to use it, but was I gonna buy another bag of it? Nah. So I had to think of something else. I went with black sand because I was thinking it would look a little more natural. I just like the idea of having like a dark substrate. So I stuck with black sand. I got a small bag because it was cheaper and I got it with the aquarium. Play sand I already had and I just knew I had to rinse it a bunch. Done. And organic soil I needed to get at the store. First thing I needed to do was clean the sand many times. And then many more times after the many times. That's how many times I clean the sand. A bit of a hazy day today, isn't it? So today, we're gonna rinse some play sand. We're starting with Tamago's tank. First of all, we're doing this 1 tank at a time. The reason we have play sand, because that's what we had, so it's free. But this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna rinse out this sand today, and then I'm gonna go to the store and get some soil. I shall see you there. But of course, we need to do the sand thingy thing first. Alrighty, on to the store. So if you're wondering, why did you switch from one bag to the other? Well, first of all, it took me a minute to find the things that I needed to find. I don't know why I said it like that. When I looked online, I'm specifically looking for like this Miracle Grow organic mix that is the smaller bag, but you know, I don't need that much. And it's supposed to be like good stuff and it needs to be organic. And that actually limited my options by quite a bit. And so I was in the big bag of organic stuff for a minute and that's what you saw me grab. Oh, before this trip, by the way, I scavenged for soil I can use, but none of it was organic. Because that huge bag was about $5, which is great and it's organic, but I have a feeling that it probably was a lot more full of wood chips that I was going to sift out anyways, and it was more likely to just have things that I potentially felt like could change the water. Whereas this smaller bag that was much lighter to carry out the door, let me tell you, it's like, yeah, it was more expensive, but also when I looked at the ingredients, which was I think the most important thing, it has sphagnum peat moss, which is great for nutrients, processed forest products, which I'm assuming is another way to say dirt, because I guess dirt is a product of the forest, so it's processed forest products that work. Perlite, which is basically a volcanic rock leftover, I think, that is used to absorb extra moisture in our potting soil. I'm a plant person, okay? So I know this a little bit, okay? Compost, which is more nutrients. Fertilizer, which, you know, more nutrients. And yucca, which is a plant. So the fact that I knew everything that was in here, did I look at the other one? Sorry, I was too busy dragging the bag with my limited strength of the arms. Point being, this was the potting soil choice. Thank you, everybody. So, the end. That is also cinematic, okay? The end. So first of all, if anyone sees this was my attempt at a Hidden Leaf Village hat beanie DIY that obviously didn't turn out exactly as planned, which is why it's on the back of my head. But also I need another opinion. Hidden Leaf Village, type in the comments, attempt, semicolon, and whatever number you think out of 10. If you need to roast me, I accept it. Okay, I was just trying to be a little Naruto fan and here we are. But it keeps my head warm. All right, I wanted to mention that in case you see it in the video, so you can properly roast me if you would like. Second thing, this is chicken wire. The reason I have it is actually a very funny story. Maybe I'll tell it someday, but it's another time. My thought was, I'm just gonna cut a 12 by 10 inch section of wire and then put it over the box that you have like cat litter in, that is 10 by 12 on the top, and then just get all the wood out of the dirt. That was the plan, but then I saw something that might be easier and that might completely flop, and then we have to do this anyways. But that's fine. This is now a backup plan. I'll show you my forward plan. So I found this thing, and I also found coffee. It's a bin that I got from the $1 section of Target when there was a $1 section in Target. It's used to reuse bags and to put them all in one place. Apparently receipts. Boom, look at that. It's kind of smart, right? I'm gonna use this, hopefully, to sift out any of the dirt, and it's so small that I think this is one of my rare genius moments, and I will take your applause for it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's sift some dirt. I feel like Now we just put together the aquarium. Take it away, Amy of the past. So the plan. I'm gonna go in with this black aquatic substrate. It's like a black sand. It's from Imagitarium. It's the smallest bag because it's the cheapest bag I can get. And I'm gonna put this little border around these 3 walls of the aquarium. A, so it looks a little bit nicer from what you can see. And B, so that you can cap off this organic dirt. The organic dirt's in there to provide nutrients for the aquarium in a cost-effective way. I'm gonna try to be careful to not mix the dirt and the black sand, because the whole reason I put the black sand there is so this can stay in its lane. So I'm gonna try to put a good amount of dirt, maybe like 1 inch, possibly 2 inches of the organic dirt into the rest of the area of the aquarium. And then I'm gonna fill the aquarium into the point that the substrate stops. And I'm really trying to waterlog the soil so that there's no oxygen, it's just water already in the soil. And I'm gonna leave it for 1 to 2 days because I believe that's gonna reduce the possibility of having ammonia in the aquarium. After 1 to 2 days, I'm going to, once again, cap off the organic dirt with this playground soil. It's dried out a little bit. As you can see, it's like this finer sand, you know, you can mold it. And that's actually a little bit harder for the aquatic plants to get through in order to get to the soil, but it was free. So after the 2 days, we're gonna put playground soil on top of the organic soil. Then I have this aqua soil. It's like supposed to be good for the shrimp. I just thought it would make my life easier and it actually didn't. So, which is transferred from the aquarium that my snail is currently in, and I'm gonna transfer that here. I'm gonna use that $20 bag of dirt about that big, for sure, in this aquarium. When you're like, okay, if you have aqua soil, why are you doing all this? I don't want to buy more aqua soil. And this is just an experiment. So we're just gonna see how it does. I'm gonna try to take into account the rule of thirds, which is I'm gonna divide this into thirds, which is 5 inches. I have 3 rocks and I'm gonna try to put them at every 5-inch mark and just plant it to its potential. I like the red tiger lotus because they have these long stems that lead to the top of the aquarium, and then it makes it really easy for my snail to kind of just travel around. And I think, I mean, this is personally my own beliefs, but I think my snail has a fun time with the red tiger lotuses. That's absolute units material right there. Look at that. We're just gonna try. That's the plan. We're gonna try it. Fingers crossed for the air stone. Now for the final step, testing the water. It seemed I had a bit of ammonia and a bit of nitrite, which is not satisfactory, but I also realized something in that moment, which is I really didn't have another choice, because honestly the jar that Tamago was in currently would quickly build up with ammonia anyways, so I think a nice spacious aquarium was gonna be the option. So that was the plan. So I watched Tamago in the new aquarium for a bit, and I swear, it might just be me, but I swear, Tamago went from scared and timid to genuinely being excited to explore. Look at that, perfect water, which means a perfect time to get my friend Tamago a pal, or a few. I called my mom and asked, hey, would you like to go to the local fish store with me?
Hello?
Hello, would you like to go to the local fish store with me?
Oh oui, bien sûr.
Okay, à tout à l'heure.
Okay, bisous.
Okay, bisous. It's a go. It's official. Let's go. So off we went.